This week I travelled all the way down to Royal Tunbridge Wells, which was a very long car journey, which you can see I absolutely loved. But I got out the car, wrapped up warm, wearing an outfit which I've worn way too many times recently. Then I got a chai latte to start off my day, which if you haven't tried before, you should. They're absolutely amazing. But then I hit up the first charity shop of the day, which was the Hospice in Weld, where we started off very successfully because I found this like vintage Adidas like windbreaker rain jacket style thing. As you can see by that white tag, you can see how old it is, and as well, this was literally £5. £5. You go in some charity shops and you'd find that for at least 10. Some places would even put that up for 15. But I then found this Guns N' Roses t-shirt, which if it was actually like a tour t-shirt, definitely would have picked up. But I'm not too sure what it was, to be honest. I think it was just like a print off like ASOS or something like that, so I weren't going to be picking that up. I did get so gassed for like half a second because like serious band t-shirts can sell for loads, especially a Guns N' Roses one. But then I found our second pickup of the day, which was this Timberland Polo, which I so wish fit me, but unfortunately it was just a little bit too big. But look how good that embroidered Timberland logo is across the front. That is what made me fall in love with this. But then I found a little Bournemouth football kit, but I weren't going to be picking that up because I think it was a kid's like size small, because it was absolutely tiny. But I was thinking, after this charity shop, if all of the charity shops are like this, we're in for a good day, which we were, so stay tuned. But I then went in our second charity shop of the day. I'm not too sure what this one was. I've never been in this charity shop, but they had some interesting things in here. I first of all wasn't too sure where the men's stuff was, so that's why I headed to the back. But probably the most interesting thing I found in this charity shop was this like bench fleece that had the really cool like almost like embossed kind of logo going down there. I feel like it was really expensive. That is why I didn't pick it up, because it was quite a nice piece, but it weren't that cool, I don't think, for how much it was. But I grabbed some hand sanitizer as I left and literally headed, I think it was like 2 or 3 shops down, into this Sue Ryder charity shop. God, it feels like I haven't been in a Sue Ryder charity shop for a very long time, but I started off and they had some really cool like mugs. The one that I found most interesting was this like New York one. The only thing I was thinking though, how much coffee are you drinking if you're drinking out of that mug? Surely you're just drinking them like, what are they called? Like, what's the really strong like shots of coffee? I want to say Nespresso, but that is a coffee brand. I don't think that is a type of coffee. Is it espresso? I don't know. But I then did find some checkerboard Vans in here, which were kind of cool, but they were really beat. But apart from that, this charity shop was pretty dead. This is probably the deadest charity shop I went in all day. I had high hopes because normally Sue Ryder is normally quite a good like chain of charity shops, but this one, nah. I then went in this little farm shop and I got a little bit carried away on this like pick and mix thing. They had yogurt coated bananas, they had chocolate coated coffee beans, which if you haven't tried, you should. They had Brazil nuts, and I filled up quite a large bag of them and I slowly ate them as we headed to our next charity shop, which was this Bernardo's, which was deceivingly big. Like, it went back a long old way. And then I got gassed for literally half a second because I thought I found a Burberry trench coat, but then I remembered we're not in Sevenoaks. This town is as nice as Sevenoaks though. But I then did my good deed for the day, picked up this coat that had fallen on the floor. I then found this French Connections like trench coat, but I think it was about £20 and the condition really wasn't all that, but I did really like it. I then found a brand new Adidas t-shirt next to it though, literally brand new with tags, everything, but it was pretty basic. Weren't really worth me picking up. But I found this, I don't know what the brand is, but I've seen this brand a lot, like overshirt. It was a bit of a thicker overshirt, but it wasn't thick enough. I'm still looking for one of them like really thick or lined overshirts. I just can't find one anywhere. Found one in All Saints the other day, but I don't know about you, but I'm not spending £75 on one. But I headed a little bit further down the road into this Hospice in Weld charity shop, which was a very successful charity shop, because literally the first item that I come across was this like trespass like body warmer like fleece style thing, kind of like the North Face one that I picked up recently from a kilo event. I was so sad when I see that this was an extra large, because if it wasn't, I 100% would have picked it up for myself. But I put it back and went down to the next charity shop because I didn't want to carry it all the way around while I was looking through the rails. It sounds stupid, but it's so hard to hold something and go through the rails. You start getting arm ache. So I thought I'll just come back to it. But in the meantime, I headed in this cancer research charity shop, which was very nice. It's a bit hard to see, but all of the women's clothes were all color coordinated. I thought that was quite cool. Someone's gone through some serious effort to do that. I was hoping it'd be the same story for the men's clothes, clothes, but I don't think they had enough men's clothes to be able to do that with. But they had a couple nice coats in this charity shop, nothing really too spectacular, like nothing really worth buying. But I then headed down to our next charity shop, which was this Oxfam charity shop, which once again was deceivingly big. And it even had an upstairs in this one. I've never been in a charity shop which has had an upstairs, but unfortunately it was staff only. I was so gutted when I see the sign. They didn't have any good jeans or trousers in here, which was a little bit disappointing. They did have a really sick jacket, which was this Champion jacket. I was very tempted to buy this. It was only $7.99, but I can't remember what put me off. There was something about it that just was a bit strange. It was a nice piece though. If that Champion logo was embroidered, I would have picked it up, but where it was printed, I wasn't too fussed. But that charity shop was a little bit disappointing, unlike the next charity shop that we went in, which was this Hospice of Hope. Once again, I headed over to the back corner where the men's stuff was pretty much hidden, and I started going through the trousers, and we found an absolute banger, which I accidentally pulled off the hanger, but it was a bit of a blessing in disguise because it made me find out that they were Russell Athletic cargo trousers. They were literally brand new as well, and I think they were something like £6, which is just insane. I don't know how much they are normally, but Russell Athletic is normally relatively expensive, and as well it's come quite trendy recently. But I ended up buying it and heading down to this British Heart Foundation charity shop, and somehow it got even crazier in here, because starting off I found this really cool like vintage like Umbro kind of, would you call that like a vest almost, or a long neck cardigan? That's probably a better description of it. Also found this Kawasaki like hoodie, which I thought was quite cool, but I think I didn't like the inner lining of the hood, which is a really minute detail really looking at it, but it really put me off the hoodie for some reason. But I found these really cool shoes as well. I'm not too sure what brands they are. I think they said Squash on the side, so they might have just been like a small squash brand. I don't know. But then when I headed over to the coats, this is where it really got crazy, because I found a Berghaus, I don't know how to say it, coat. Oh, if this was in my size, I 100% would have kept it for myself, but it was just a little bit too small, so it will be heading to my Depop. But this is probably the best coat find I've ever found in a charity shop. I've literally been saying about buying one of these coats as well for so long. It wasn't a Gore-Tex one, unfortunately, which I've really been looking for a long time, but it definitely still was waterproof. But I ended up picking that up for literally, I think it was like £6, which is a steal. But I then headed down to our next charity shop of the day, which was a mine charity shop, which was a very eventful charity shop as well. So I started off by finding this really sick like Thrasher like long sleeve t-shirt style thing. I don't think you can really call it a jumper. It wasn't thick enough for a jumper. I would have picked it up, but it was, as I said, it weren't thick enough to be a jumper, and it had like sports material, which yeah, kind of put me off. I weren't really feeling the sports material. But I found this amazing vintage Armani coat. Looking back, I should have picked it up because I probably would have been able to make quite a lot of money on it, but it was only like, well, I think it was £25, which was the biggest factor for me not picking it up. Where I'd bought so much else this day, I couldn't face dropping £25. But then I found probably my oldest Adidas pickup I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen that tag before, and it just felt old as well. It was a very interesting piece, but I thought, I don't really like it. I'm not too sure how well it would sell on Depop, but I think it was just the tag that really interested me about this. But somehow I came away empty-handed out of this charity shop, and then sadly I got juked. I thought I found another Oxfam charity shop, but it was just a bookshop, which was very disappointing. But on that unfortunate disappointing note, that is where our trip to Tunbridge Wells ended, which I wish could have lasted the whole day. But I really do hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I really do hope to see you in another video.